Very good morning, everyone present in the class. So we had started with one of the most important module of the Spring framework, which happens to be Spring Core. We tried to understand on the inversion of control and dependence injection. In the last two classes of Spring, we understood with Java project, we have understood with Spring framework project, with the XML approach. Okay, we shall understand more on this. But with the help of XML approach, we try to understand on that. We'll understand more going forward also. Fine. Now, the more focus of this course, as I have already told, that it will be on the Spring Boot, because in the industry right now, Spring Boot is being used. But as I've told, Spring Boot is not a new framework. Spring Boot is one of the approach where you can use Spring framework easily. First, you need to understand little bit fundamentals on the Spring framework. Then every module, Spring Data API, Spring Data JDBC, REST, all the RESTful services, the MVC web will be taught in the Spring Boot itself. Okay. So we had started with the XML and we try to understand inversion of control and dependency injection. I'll assume that those who are trying to understand today's concepts were also part of the last two classes. There are two ways to activate the Spring IUC container. Number one happens to be application context, and number two is none other than Bean Factory, which promotes eager initialization and which promotes lazy initialization. Bean Factory. Application context and Bean Factory, are they classes or interfaces? Are they classes or interfaces? Interfaces. There are so many implementing classes which you can use. It is what we have understood in the last class. All of you present in the class, yes, no, maybe. So can I keep in mind that those who are watching me knows those fundamentals by default? Yeah, no. Let's go ahead and develop one more project. Spring Core 3 is what we had stopped. I'll go here. I will add this project, Spring Core 4. Understand this to the best of your ability. Spring Core 4 is what I have added here. And I know on two configuration files. Let me just delete this. Also, I would not like to have this any services for now, because I have a plan of going with some other part in today's class. Okay. I would like to delete these classes for now. Understand this to the best of your ability. All right. I would like to open this. Whatever code is there, I would like to remove this code. Fine. Great. All good so far, my dear friends, everyone. What is that I'm trying to do here? In the last class, which approach we had tried to understand, my dear friends? Which approach we had tried to understand the concept of Spring Framework? XML. There are 2 or 3 more applications in XML I will teach. Because if you have been deployed in some legacy projects, you should be knowing it as a developer. You cannot avoid it. So I need to teach you 3 or more applications with XML. But before that, at least one application I want to show you with annotations. Right now, what I'm going to do is one application with annotation I will show you. And so that you can get the taste of it. Then we'll get back to XML 2-3 more examples, and then we'll continue with the annotation approach till the end of this course. Fine. Now this annotation approach, I'll not be using Spring Boot yet. Spring Boot we will start most probably day after tomorrow, or maybe on the Monday's class, we'll try to start the Spring Boot. Okay. And as I have already told, but people are still asking me in the doubt session that Spring Boot, please do more. As I have told you, 98% focus will be given on Spring Boot itself, because at the end of the day, you should know Spring Boot. But till we reach there, have little patience. So this XML plus annotation approach, this is, but more is we can call this as annotation approach, because little bit of XML I will use, and then 3 more applications purely on XML. We shall move ahead only for the annotation approach till the end of this course. I want to just give a start of this. Fine. And also, those who are part of my live core Java classes, they know about annotations. Those who don't know, those who have not, maybe they know annotations, they don't have a clarity. For them, I would request you to watch the videos which are there in your course dashboard already. You need not to do something else. It's there in your course dashboard, which you have to watch. Okay. I would like to go back here. I'll go to my enrollments. Come here, guys. In your course dashboard, please see here. If you just scroll down, there is something called as section number 14, enum and annotation. I want you to watch that after the class. If you know annotation, well and good. It is not something I'm asking. Annotation is something which you should know as a Java developer. And I should, without caring, should go and start teaching you annotation approach. But I want those who are new to the world of Java, or maybe Spring Boot, who thought that they know Java, maybe they don't know completely. I request them to watch this video. Fine. Can I move ahead, my dear friends? All of you? Yes, no, maybe. Now, guys, through the XML approach, we just try to talk to the Spring framework. All of you? We just try to communicate what we need to the Spring framework. Everyone? Now, annotation is also a way to talk to Spring framework what you need. There are many annotations which you should be knowing it. To start with, I will discuss first some of the stereotype annotation. Some of the stereotype annotations to start with. In this application, you'll understand few. As I have told, after the XML approach is over, you'll understand so many annotations. Learning Spring framework is all about learning those annotations, because you're not going to introduce new syntax. Annotation is also part of Java only. That also comes under Java. So Spring framework is not a programming language. You're not going to learn any new syntax. You should know Java, how to use Java. That's it, right? So now, what is that in this particular application you'll understand is what you need to see here. There are some annotations which comes under the stereotype. Number 1, component. Then we have controller. Then we have REST controller. Learning the Spring framework means mastering all these annotations, which you will master. Okay, these are for the first time. If you look, it may look like this, but it's in reality it is not the case. I'll go here. I will say service. I will say here repository is what you need to understand. I will say here configuration. Okay. Apart from this, there are other basic annotations which you'll understand today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow's class. Auto wide, qualifier, primary, B. Are there only annotations? No, so many of them are there, which we'll understand one by one, one by one. At the end of Friday's class, we should be having comfortable hold on these many. But however, these two will come into picture only Once you start with the web and REST APIs, and this will come into picture once you start the data API, but you will get the clarity what exactly these are. Now, what are the stereotype annotation to start with? Don't overthink on this. Looking at this, I never explain something theoretically. I never just write and say this is this. No, I will write the code and explain. Okay, you need not worry on that. Stereotype annotations means such annotations which are class level. Class level in sense, you have to apply at the top of a class. Whichever stereotype annotation you apply, all of them, one thing is common. What is that one thing? Spring will create a bean of that class. It is a message to Spring Framework that you have to manage the bean of those classes. Example, I will write here class A. I will apply any of the annotation here. Maybe I'll go with component. Nothing I have to say. That is over, game over. Now, who will create the object of this class? Who will manage the object creation? A life cycle of this class? It is none other than Spring Framework. So all this stereotype annotation will be applied at the class level. One thing is common. There is a difference purpose between all of them. We will understand, and that is what we need to understand throughout this journey of the next 2 months. However, one thing is common. What is that common? If you apply to any of the class, that class object who will create? Spring Framework will create. Point number 1. The step number 1. Tick mark to everyone. Yes, no, maybe. My dear friends, it is actually how to talk to Spring Framework that you have to create bean of a particular class. You have to create bean means you have to create object instance. Again, I'm repeating, if object and instance is created and managed by Spring Framework, the term which we use, is it object instance or bean? It is a bean. Bean means, is it something rocket science, guys? It is something different? No. It's just that object only, but that is managed by Spring Framework. That's it. Fine, huh? So the annotation, the how to talk to Spring Framework that you have to create a bean of a particular class is on the top of the class. Please use one annotation called as component. Use the annotation called as component. This is the annotation which is responsible to tell Spring Framework you have to do so. Great. Then you have told us that all these annotations also will do the same. Right now, I'm telling that it is the component annotation we have to apply to the class. If you apply to the class, Spring will understand, oh, that this class I have to manage. Developer will not take care of this class object creation and the life cycle. I have to take care of it. Correct? But you are also telling it is only annotation, and you have also told us that any of that, if you apply, Spring will take care. What is the matter here? Understand this. In industry, we follow layered approach. In the very first class, in the yesterday's class also I have told. Layered approach development is what we follow in the industry. And majorly in the backend, we have 3 layers. 3 layers we have. One is web layer or controller layer. One is service layer or business layer. One is DAO layer, repository layer, persistence layer, different names. All of them are referring to same. Inside this, actual purpose of the application will be written. The actual business logic. Actual business logic of the application will be written. Here, all the web logic, your APIs. That means if it is a web application on the internet, if there is any HTTP request and HTTP response, that means it is a web application, only will work if there is an internet. Here, if the front end is HTML, JSP, theme leaf, then we go with a class which is annotated with controller. If it is a REST API, RESTful services, we go with a class with REST controller. What is the difference between controller and REST controller? One of the most commonly asked interview question. We're going to understand in depth this entire layer in the web part. We are going to discuss in depth. All right. All this layered approach we'll discuss. Suppose we have a database here. We have a database where a table is there. DBMS. Now, all the logic which is responsible to interact with database, the logic which is responsible to interact with the database and perform DB related operation, inserting something in the database, deleting something from the database, updating some records, all the operations which are responsible to connect to the database and perform the operations, we write inside this layer called as a repository layer. And here we write the actual business logic of your application. Great. This we have understood in the first class also, I guess. And going forward, practically also we'll understand about the layered approach development because we are going to follow that. Okay. Now, which annotation I have told, if you apply to a class, which will take care of, Spring will take care of object creation. What is the name of the annotation I have told? Component. Great. Now, my dear friends, the controller annotation is equal to component plus specific purpose. Specific purpose. What is that specific purpose? The specific purpose is web logic. If you apply controller, component feature will be there. And what is the behavior of component, guys? It will create the object. It is a message to the Spring framework. You have to take care of object plus specific purpose. That means it is a message to the developer and also to the Spring IOC container. Inside this class, web logic is written. Inside this class, REST API logic is written. That extra method. What is web logic? What is REST API logic? We will see. Component behavior will be there. Plus, it's also a message developer. Oh, so this code, if you look at the class, very first, if you see controller at the top of the class, you can come to a conclusion that inside this class, a logic is written which can receive an internet request and which can respond back. If you go with service, it is component only. Component behavior will be as it is plus specific purpose. What is the specific purpose in this case? Business logic. That means inside this, the actual purpose of application is written. The actual purpose of application is written. All of you are there with me, my dear friends. Everyone, yes, no, maybe. Actual purpose of the application, which is business logic. Developer also, if you see, guys, if you see one class, alpha. And at the top of this, if you see service, can you come to a conclusion that, oh, this class will be managed by this bean will be managed by Spring framework? First conclusion, can you come to that? The second conclusion should be what? The second conclusion should be what? Oh, inside this, some main actual business logic is written. That means a real logical, the purpose of the application is written inside this only. Making sense? Likewise, if you go with repository, which practically you'll see, guys, all these interface, annotations, day in and day out, we have to deal with it. Okay. It is component only. Plus, it is a message that all the database related activity, DB, the JDBC, Hibernate logic, whatever you have written now to perform the DB operations, it is a message to the developer. Oh, inside this, database related operations are there to connect to the database, to insert some data, to delete the data, to update the data, to retrieve the data. All the DB related operations is there. As a developer also, you should come to a conclusion. Because in the ID, you will not see different layers and all. I hope you are able to understand, everyone. By looking at this code, you should understand, oh, this class DB related operations are there. Configuration. It is component. plus it is a message to the developer and to the Spring framework that all the configuration related things, which you will see going forward, that very often you are going to use this annotation. That means all the configuration related thing, whatever configuration we are doing in the XML file, no, we can do in the Java file also, Java code also, which I will show you in the tomorrow, day after tomorrow's class. That is Java configuration plus annotation approach. Fine. So it's like some configurations are there inside this. It's a message to developer. Oh, in this big application, some configurations this developer has written in Java approach that is available inside this class. It is a message to you also, to the Spring IOC container also. Fine. So all these stereotype annotations, my dear friends, what is the base of all the stereotype annotation? Which annotation is the base of all the stereotype annotation? Component plus specific feature. Component plus specific feature. But one thing is common out of all this annotation. Any of this annotation, if you apply to a class, what will happen? Any of this annotation, if you apply to a class, bean gets created. It's a message to the Spring framework. Is that fine, everyone present in the class? Others I will discuss. These three I will discuss after I discuss the auto wiring in XML. Now coming to the bean, it is a method level. It is a method level. Method level in the sense you cannot apply to a class. Why certain annotation cannot be applied everywhere? Watch my annotation video, which I have told you. It is there in your dashboard. Section number 14, enum and annotation. Please do watch that video if you don't know concept of annotations after the class. Okay. Bean. Suppose certain times, example, I have a class A. In some other class, I will create the object of A. If I create the object of A, can you call this as a bean, my dear friends? This object is managed by developer or Spring IOC container? It is developer managed. It is not a bean. Will it be part of Spring lifecycle IOC? No. Sometimes there will be a need arises where you will create the object, but you want Spring to manage, Spring to consider within its family, within the ecosystem, as a life cycle, as a bean. I will create the object, but I want my Spring to consider this also as a bean. In that case, we go with annotation called as bean. In whichever method we create this object, that method will annotate with bean. That means say Spring, I have created one object. I know it is against your rule that if you create object, then only it is bean. But there was some situation where I had to create the object. But please do me a favor. I have created the object. But can you consider this also as a family of bean? Can you consider this also a bean only? Spring will be like, hey, you have created say object. I cannot take it. But it's a request that you have to take it as a bean. Though I have created the object. Are you all understanding? Yes, no, maybe. Not just this, many real-time scenarios are there. My dear friends, tell me one thing. Have you used many classes are there in data time API? Did I discuss data time API in the course Java, guys? I have discussed. Any of the class you take. Maybe I'll take some predefined class. Array list only you take. Arrays you take. Any of the predefined class. Guys, whatever predefined classes are there in the JDK, as a developer, you can use that. Example, if I want to create a collection, can I use the class called as array list? Can I create the object of array list? If I want to have a date and time, can I create the class called as local date, local time, local date and time from the Joda API, guys? I can do that. Now you can use the class, but do you have an authority to modify this class? Modify the code of this class? Do you have any authority? I can use it, but can I modify it? Sometimes there are predefined classes which you may have to use, but you want that to be a part of Spring lifecycle, Spring Bean lifecycle. You want it to be part of Spring IOC container. If you want that to be a part of Spring IOC container, you have to use any of the stereotype annotation. If you want to use any of the stereotype annotation, did Java JDK team have they coded all the predefined classes with this stereotype annotation at the top of them? Have they written controller, component, service at the top of array list, linked list, scanner class, string class? Have they written? If you don't use this stereotype annotation, will my Spring consider as a part of bean lifecycle, as a part of Spring IOC container? No. In that case, as a developer, you will create the object of local date, local time, everything. But you want it to be a part of Spring Bean lifecycle. You want it to be a part of Spring IOC container. Then what is annotation left out, guys? What is annotation left out? Are you all present in the class getting it? Those who are listening to me very carefully. Focus is the key. My dear friends, everyone in the class, right now, to just explain this fundamental basics, one application I will develop with little bit of XML annotation approach. And next 3 applications, I'll get back to XML approach, pure XML approach. That will be the last XML approach applications. After that, entire journey till the last class, till the conclusion of the class, entire batch, I will use annotation approach only. So you will have a good hold of annotation approach. With your permission, can I just give you a glimpse by developing one basic application of annotations? Yes, no, maybe. Thank you for your. I'll go back here. Everyone. I will just delete this entire package also. I will create a new package. There are good ways to create the packages, folders. I will say here com.telescope. Com.telescope is the package I will give here. Dot maybe main. Com.telescope.services. Different packages you can create. I'll go back here. I'll create a class. I'll say here launch application with the main method. Great. All of you have to understand this to the best of your ability. I will go back to the XML approach. I no want to follow this. This time bean, all of that is not needed. Through this XML approach, one information I want to give it to Spring Framework. What is that information you want to give it to Spring Framework? If you ask me, I just want to say, look, Spring Framework, this time I am using what? I am using annotations. You will not find the details. I'll go back here and activate the Spring IOC container. There are 2 ways. I will use the application context. I will say here application context type IOC container is a reference variable equals to new class path XML application context. Okay. Within this, I will specify the configuration file name. What is the configuration file name? Application config is the name I've given. No, application config dot XML. Anyone has any issues with this, guys? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, we can try any other also. If you have specified here, there is no problem, but that is recommended name. Activated the Spring Framework. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, great. Now Spring Framework will go to this application configuration XML file. In this file, I will just inform my Spring Framework. Hey, Spring Framework, you came here for what? Tell me now which bean I have to create. I will tell that information I will give this time to you through the annotation approach. Go and check in the classes itself. That one information I will give it to Spring Framework. For only that one purpose, I'm using XML approach. In the XML approach, I will not talk about the dependency injection, Beans, nothing I will say. Then what will you say? I will just inform my Spring framework that this time I'm not using XML, I'm using annotation. Go and find the information in the Java code itself. That information I have to give. How to give is what we have to say, for which the metadata is also different, which you can get from the chat GPT, Google. You need not to, no one can recall this meta information. You will available on the internet. Okay, let me open one file. I have this already with me. If not, let me get it from the Google. The metadata means this information will change. That's it. Okay. I will just go here. I will add this. That means meta information about this. That's it. Nothing changes here. Okay, great. All right, guys. And now what is that I have to say here? What is that I have to say? I will let me complete, then I will share it. What is that I have to say here, guys? I have to inform that, look, this time I'm using which approach? Annotation approach. Fine. Now, how to say that? I will go here. Are you able to see this context annotation config? I'm telling, yeah, Spring framework, look what? This time I'm using annotation approach. The annotation configuration is what I'm doing. You'll not find that bean, property, constructor, arg. You'll not find that. I'm going with annotation approach. You can write like this also. If there is no information, you can self-close also. There is no problem in that. Self-closing also you can write. Like this also you can write. Both of them will suffice. Okay. And apart from that, you have to also inform about one more information. What is that one more thing you have to inform apart from this? That those classes which I have to check for the annotations, where are those classes present? Which classes should I consider? For which I will say here, there is something called as context component scan. Within this base package, I have to specify. The base package will say com.telescope. All the classes which are part of com.telescope package, go and scan. Example, if I create one more package here, I will create one more package. Name of not there. I will go here and I will create one more package of in this application. Package means folder, as I have told in the core Java itself. But they want to give a hi-fi name to it. They use the term package. If I was the creator of this ecosystem, I would have given the name folder. Okay. But package means looks cool, right? Folder means it is normal, non-technical term. Looks not so cool. For that purpose, many of the namings have been given. Okay. I will say here in dot telescope. I will create some class. I will create some class. Example, I'll say here some class, alien class. All right. Inside this alien class, I will apply here component. Component. If I say component, see it is coming from the stereotype family. According to me, if you apply component to the class, who will create the object of this, my dear friends? Who will create the object of this? Who will create? Who will create object of this class? Spring will create. Spring IOC container will create. But this class, Spring IOC container will not even touch. You will not get the message alien being created. Why I will not get this message? You have told component means it will create. Yes, I have told. If you apply component, Spring will create the object of this. But this time it will not create object of alien. Why? Because this alien is present inside a package called as in.telescope. The base package is in.telescope. What did I say here? A Spring. Consider all the classes which are package which comes into the family of com.telescope. Are you understanding this? Yes, no, maybe. So please consider the classes which are part of this package. Scan, go and scan, you will find it. That's all, nothing. Now I'll go here. Let me create different layers, guys. I would like to create a different layers. Package I have told no. Com.telescope, I'll say. Com.telescope is a base package is what I have told there. It's a main. I'll go here. I'll create the packages from the family of com.telesco. Different layers, guys. I'll say a DAO layer. I'll go here and create one more package dot web layer. How to create real web layers and all, we are going to anyway understand within the 1 month of time of this course. For now, I will say a dot service layer. Okay. Dot business layer. Some classes I will create here. I will go and create the class. The class name which I'll give here is, can we create multiple scan packages? No. But there are options using the annotations which you will see going forward by default, Drupal. I will go here and say some class. I'll say a DAO class. Inside this class, I will just, for now, nothing I will write. I will say a DAO. DAO means data access layer, guys. Whatever is responsible to perform the database activity. Are you getting? A repository layer, persistence layer, DAO layer, all of them are C. I will say system.out.println DAO being created. If constructor is getting executed, what that does mean, guys? That shows that a bean is getting created. I will say here and I'll give the message as service layer is a class name is what I have given. I will create one constructor. I'm starting 3-4 days till I complete the Spring framework. I need your support, those who knows the fundamentals. I know you're expecting me to do something advanced. I'll come to that point. But I want to get everyone on the same page. Once everyone is on the same page, then pace, of course, I have to increase. So we will see to it. Okay. I'll go back here and create one more package or one more class. I will say here web layer is the name of the class I've given. Okay. I will say here public. I will just say here system.out.println. I will say here been created. All right, dear friends. After which somewhere in here only I'll write some configuration. I can create separate package also, but let me create for now, maybe in the service layer itself. I'll create config. Inside this, I will say here public. Utility class I will also create if you want, where only component I will use. Okay. All right. I'll go back here. I will say created. Config being created. All right, guys. How many classes we do have here? DAO, config, service layer, web layer. Did I use any of these stereotype annotations? Anywhere did I use any of these stereotype annotations? No. I want you to tell me the case here. Tell me the suitable stereotype annotation which I have to apply to the top of this class. The suitable annotation which I have to apply here. Repository. If I write component, will there be any problem? No. But what is recommended? Repository. If you create repository, the bean ID, how to give, I will tell. By default, behind the scene, the bean ID will be camel case name of the class. Based on this, what is the camel case name? This is the bean ID. But I want to give a different, no problem, give it. How to give? In the next class, I will, maybe I'll open and tell you here. You can write there also, no problem. What is the recommended annotation name here, guys? For the business logic, what is the recommended annotation name? What is the bean ID? The reference variable of this bean which Spring will create. The bean ID will be what? Camel case of this. And what is the camel case of this, guys? This is the camel case of this. But can I give like the way I have given in the XML? Yes. Open this. I will say here. If you give like this, will the bean ID be this? No. Whatever you have chosen. So some cases you might see something like this. Some cases you might see plain. Both of them are same. Are you understanding everyone present in the class? Some people we want default bean ID. Some people will give their own bean ID. That's it. Looks different. Oh, what is there inside this? Nothing. Just the bean ID. I'll go back here. Could you please tell me the recommended annotation here? I will say controller. But controller is what I have to. Could you please tell me what is that recommended bean ID here? I mean, the stereotype annotation. Are you all there here? Yes, no, maybe. Let me write one utility class which will support the other business logics. Utility class. Some utility means supporting class. Utility. And utility means some supporting class which will support the business logic. Nothing special, it is just a supporting class. Now, could you tell me the recommended annotation here to be used, guys? What is the recommended annotation? Anyone in the class? Nothing special about it. All of you are there with me? Yes. No. Maybe. Guys, at the top of alien also have written component. But will there be any bean of this class? It is a part of in.telescope. I'll go, I have activated my Spring framework. I will run my application. If I run this application, Java application. Okay. I have not applied. Yeah. Run as Java application. Guys, are you all getting it? Yes, no. Have you got alien? Fundamentally, stereotype annotations means, is it clear? Fundamentally. Practically, many applications we are going to develop. 2 months, what we will do? That is what we have to do, no? For the next 2-3 months. So what I want to do here is before Monday or till Monday, I want to make you so good in the Spring framework that from the Tuesday onwards, when I start the other modules of Spring framework, I should like talk to the Spring Boot developers. I should teach in a way that I'm talking to Spring Boot developers. All these basic things, I don't want to put efforts. I want to put efforts in the real concepts. Fundamentally, you should be knowing everything. Now, guys, annotation approach is easy or XML approach is easy? What do you feel? Annotation approach or XML approach? Which is the most easiest one? Annotation approach. Very easy and very straightforward, right? Yes, no, maybe. People who are asking me to share this file, enjoy. Now, my dear friends, have you got alien? No, you have not got it. I'll do one thing. I'll go to maybe somewhere in the service only. I'll create one class called as password class. Understand this. Password class I will create. Inside this class, I will write one constructor. I will write one constructor. Can I give multiple? No, you cannot. You have first only you have to specify the base package. Even if you specify com, the other packages can be different. Like the way it is totally different after main.service is there, main.web is there. Base you have given com.telescope. Inside this, there can be 100 types of packages. Okay. So, guys, please see here. Maybe password generator, which I am using here is password, some string type of algorithm I am expecting. And this algorithm, I know want my Spring to be given at the runtime. Are you getting it? I'll say here system.out.println password being created. Guys, at the top of this password class, am I adding any of the annotation? No, you cannot. Why? What is the need of this, Daniel? There is no need of this. You can get multiple packets. You just specify the base package. Base package, if it is different, you cannot do it. Am I using any of the annotation, guys? Will my Spring create the instance of this? I will write some business logic here. Public. Some business logic, guys. What to write some business logic here? Something. Void password algo used. Algo used. Something and all I will write, okay? I will say here string type of algo. I will say here this dot algo equals to algo. Guys, anyone has any problem here? The algorithm used for password is no problem, right? Great. I'll go back to my configuration class, guys. Some configurations are happening. I will write here public. Return type is password. I'll say here create password bean. Create the password bean. I will say here password type of password equals to new password. And I'm going to pass some algorithms here. I'll say here SHA algorithm. Okay. Now, guys, tell me one thing. Who is creating the instance? Maybe the password at the runtime as a developer I had to pass. I will say here return pass. Who is creating the password object, guys? Developer or Spring Framework? Developer. But I want this to be a part of Spring IOC container. To this method, I will apply P. I will run this application. If I run this application, you can see password bin. However, password bin is they are getting this message because I am creating the object here. How can that be a proof that it is a part of bin lifecycle? I am creating the object, so only I am getting this. What is that? How can that be a proof that it is really considering? That's correct. That's a real question. Then what to do? How can you prove? I'll go back here. I'll ask container, Spring container. What? Give me what to give. See, multiple ways are there to give. You can give the class name, you can give the bean ID, you can give the class name and bean ID both. Multiple ways are there to get the bean from the Spring framework. You can do the auto wiring we will see, but manually these are the ways. I will say, give me one bean. Which bean? You have no. Which I have. You have one bean by the name password. By this name, you have one bean. Give me that. And I will collect it back here. I will collect it back. Really bean is there or not? How will I know? Some mechanism should be there, right? I will collect it back. After which I will say here p dot. That method I'll call. Guys, if I am getting here from the container, it shows that it's a part of container. It's a proof that it is a part of container. Any more proof is needed? Yes, no, maybe. All of you present in the class. See, I'm getting this message. If I'm getting this message, it's a part of Spring. Annotation approach, as I have told, more we will discuss. To start with, fundamentally, is it clear to everyone present in the class? All of you present in the class? Is it looking interesting? Yes, it is, even if you say no. I will discuss more on this. But to give you one differentiating factor at the beginning, because I don't wanted to develop 6-7 applications only XML and make you feel that Spring is something hard. I just wanted to give you a message that there are good ways also before I talk more on the XML approach. I got the vibe that you might feel difficulty because of so many XML applications. That's the one reason why I have discussed this part again and again. Is that fine, everyone? So fundamentally, it is clear. More I will tell you on annotation approach. But are you getting the easiness of Spring Framework, guys? It is not difficult, provided you have learned from the right place. After 1 week, I'll ask you the question. Openly, you can tell in the chat. After 1 week, attend 4 more classes and then tell me Spring Framework is easy or difficult. Okay. I will take this. I will add Spring Core 5. Fine now? All of you present? Guys, Spring Core 5 is what I have created the project. Application context, this 2-second file is not needed for me. I'll go back application context, XML approach. I'll open this. Lazy initialization is not needed. I'll prefer application context. Okay. I'm going with this. Let me uncomment this. Eager initialization. All the history and geography, everyone knows about it. Correct, my dear friends? I'll go back to application context. I'm performing dependence injection through the setter or constructor manually. I am wiring 2 objects manually. I'm asking my Spring, inject Java to this variable through the setter. That means I am connecting Telescope class and Java class manually. Wiring is happening manually. Wiring, connecting 2 classes. I want this connection to happen automatically, not manually. I will not say setter constructor. I want this dependence injection to happen automatically. Are you all getting it? Everyone present in the class? I will go with the self-closing only. I will self-close this. How? Without using the property and constructor. How can you do that? Is what I will tell you. You just use one attribute called as auto wire. Automatic wiring you do. By how? By type. By type means you perform the dependence injection in this class. Did I anywhere say, guys, setter or constructor? Did I say anywhere setter or constructor? Anywhere did I say? I will write one message. Constructor injection is there, message, setter injection is there. Let's see the default behavior of Spring is what? Spring is preferring this type of injection by default. Let's understand that also here. Okay. I'll go back here. Anywhere did I say, guys, setter, constructor? Nowhere. I have told auto by type. By type means inside this telescope, whichever is of type this inject here. That's the meaning. Whichever is of type I course. Now tell me, guys, how many classes are of type I course which are implementing I course interface? See, my approach is constant involvement. You have to involve in my classes. See, everyone will have their own teaching style. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. My style is like, I want my participants to involve. How many classes are there right now, guys, which are type I course? 3 classes are there. Huh? I think only 2, no? Java is implementing I course. Spring Boot is implementing I course. 2 or 3? I'll go back and run my application right now. Let me see what will happen. I'll run here. Run as Java application or Spring Boot application. If I run, oh my goodness, no unique bean definition, no qualifying bean available. Expected single match, but found 2. Java bean is also there. Spring Boot bean is also there. I thought only 1. There are 2 types. Unfortunately, I'm not human. If I was a human being, I could have done some favoritism. I would have decided, oh, Java, Spring Boot, which one should I favor? But Spring Framework is a framework. It is not a human. Will not do any favoritism. For Spring, both beans are eligible. Are you all understanding? Yes, no, maybe. Now, guys, look at the message we have got here. By using the Spring Framework, we are calling ourselves developer. Oh, we have done something great. Imagine the one who have developed this framework. They are the real developers. See, look at the beautiful message the developer who has developed the framework has given. They are the real developers. No confusion, very simple English and very simplifying, no confusion in the message. Expected single matching but found two. Understanding all of you? I'll go back to application context. I will comment this Java part. Guys, if I comment this right now, how many beans are there? How many beans are there of type I course? Right now, I have commented this part. If I have commented this, is a part of IOC container? No. I'll go back here and I will run this application. You can please kindly see, guys. Setter in telescope bean, Spring Boot bean, that's fine. Spring Boot course purchase, this is fine. We have seen. Guys, did I anywhere say setter injection? Huh? Did I anywhere say setter injection? That means Spring framework is also preferring whom? Setter. Are you that? See, on the telescope we have constructor injection also. I have constructor also. It is preferring setter. Now there is no ambiguity. What if right now you have commented this? What if you have not commented this? It's also there. How can I differentiate? How can I do that? There are many ways we can do it. If you can just go here and say primary equals to, I'll say true. True in the sense, inject this object. Because there are two types. The Spring framework will get ambiguous, confused. Two of them are eligible. Let me do one thing. I'll not even perform the dependence injection and it will throw an exception. I'll go here, run as Java application. Can you see here? Spring Boot is purchased. All three beans are getting created, but only one is getting injected through the setter. Yeah. I have commented already, Sushmita. I had commented and I have shown. All of you present in the class. Guys, did I commented this and use only one bean? You can come any of this here. That is not an issue. Hey, if that is a doubt, red color button you click pa. If you comment this or this, there will be no difference here. What is the difference in that case? Both of them are beans only, no? If that is a type of the doubt, it's God bless. Now, what? How we have auto wire? No, how we have auto wire? I will take up this. I will copy this entire thing. I will comment. I will reuse this, guys. Kindly understand, every one of you. Primary and all I will not use. Auto wire is there. No, we have multiple types. Auto wire by constructor is there. Constructor means by default I'm telling constructor. Will there be setter or constructor, guys? The good question from SP. I don't know the full name. SP has asked one question. What if setter is not even there? Will it by default go to constructor? We will see to it right now. Now, guys, constructor means by default what? How many beans are eligible? In the constructor also we have I course type. How many beans are eligible? How many beans? Are you all there here? Yes, no, maybe. Now, there are primary. You can use this primary. If not, you can use one more. Auto wire. Candidate equals to false. Auto wire candidate equals to false. Are you getting it? And now, if I say auto wire candidate false, right now all of you have done enough of coding that by default, by the attribute only, you can understand what this, where this is leading to. If I have to run this, auto wire means don't take this object for the auto wiring. Spring, create a bean of this. But don't consider for the dependency injection. It is not eligible for the auto wiring. Don't consider for the auto wiring. That's the meaning of it. Why again Spring Boot, Suresh? Because we are telling this. If not, if you say this here, which will be injected, guys? Which will be injected right now? Multiple classes means in the multiple classes you perform, no? Wherever you are performing the dependency injection. Right now I'm performing dependency injection in the same class. You want to perform in multiple, write this once again. In that class, you perform it. No problem in that case. Right now, I'm performing only in Telesco, so only this confusion. Correct? I will go here and run this application. Right click, run as Java. Guys, are you able to see this message? Constructor injection. Yes, no, maybe. There is one question from your friend, your colleague. Good question, a logical question, which I would like to consider at the immediately in the class itself. What he has told is all this is fine. Auto wire by type I will write, and I'll go to my telescope. I will not even write setter. Default one setter, right? I will not even write setter. Will it perform dependence injection is what the question is. Will it perform dependence injection is what the question is. If suppose this is not there, I'll go back here. I'll go back. I will run this. Run as Java Spring Boot application. Guys, what is that we have got here? XML bean definition store exception. This is invalid. You are asking me by type to perform setter injection. Where is the setter? A developer. What kind of logic you are writing is what Spring Boot developer is giving you a message. It's not possible. Is it fine, every one of you? Or especially the SP who had asked me? By type means by default it is setter only. Unless you specify constructor explicitly. Unless you specify constructor explicitly. Is that fine? Great. I'll go back further, guys. Further, I have here. What is that further I have? Auto wire is there, no? Auto wire, I will say equal to by type we have seen, by constructor we have seen. I'll go with by name. What am I going with? By name. By name I will go. I will not even write primary. What I'm going to do, no. Oh, my bad. I have commented this part also. Guys, what I'm going to do here is I'll go here. I will take this name. I will take this name. I will come back by name. Whichever bean ID has this name, perform the dependence injection. That's the meaning of it. Whichever bean has this course name matching with this, whatever we have in the constructor and the setter, that bean will be injected. By name means. I will save this. Right now, which object will be injected, guys? Which object will be injected? I will go back here. Run as Java. You can see Spring Boot is injected through the setter. Here also setter is being called internal. Everyone, this name, whichever bean you have attached this name, which is matching with this, that bean will be injected. By name means which. Okay. I want to inject both SB and Java class into a target object. How can I achieve that? You cannot do that, Sandesh. In same class. If you have multiple target classes, you can do. But in the same class. No, it is constructor is working here, SP. He's asking like the way earlier here. Can we just try here also by commenting the constructor is what you are trying to say? Yes. SP. By type, how I have done it. Can you just give a try here also? Good question. I'll go here and comment this part. I'll go back here. I will run. Guys, till I complete the entire annotation approach, entire XML approach, entire Spring Boot approach, till Monday's class, I know what all your doubts are there. Most of your doubts are default getting clarified in the upcoming classes till the Monday. And at the end of Monday's class, if I say all my Spring developers, all of you will say that, yes, we are Spring Boot developers. We have understood everything. Okay. Till that time, little patience. Say for apple, before ball. Whatever I'm telling, please understand that much. Okay. See, it is null pointer exception. Fine now. It is not possible. It is setter only behind the scene. I would like to save here. Go back and run this application. Right click, run as Java application. It is running. Now, guys, I'll go back. This is fine. I'll go back here. Let me copy this. I will this time do auto wiring. Auto wiring. I will say here no equals to no. No means what, guys? No auto wiring. Manually, you have to do it. Are you all there? Yes, no, maybe. Not because of setter injection, Vaibhav. Because of in the setter injection, you have this name, no reference variable name of I course. This name and this name is matching. That's the reason. Understanding? Huh? How can there be two setters, Ganesh? How can there be two setters of the same this thing? Same. Can you have multiple methods with same parameters, guys, in Java? Can we have multiple methods with same parameter? Can people attend the Spring classes without knowing Java? Those who are attending the Spring classes without knowing Java, what they should do? I am not asking, I am not telling anything. My students will tell. All the learners of this class will tell. Not leave, just learn the Java and come back. That's it. Okay. There is a video available on method overloading of core Java. Please watch that video. Okay. Why it should not be there? It's a core Java concept actually. Nothing to harm. If you don't know, maybe you have this thing, you just watch the videos of Java. Why it cannot be done. Now, guys, no auto wiring. No auto wiring means will there be any dependence injection, guys? Will there be any dependence injection? If there is no dependence injection, can I call this? Can I write this part of the code? It will lead to null pointer exception because object will not be injected only. If object is not getting injected, this will be affected. So I hope you are able to understand. So can you call that object? Because in the Telescope object, we don't have by the course. By the course interface reference it is. In that interface, no object is available. It will have a null address if you have not performed the dependence injection. If you have not performed the dependence injection, oh, people understand this. Suppose dependence injection is not there. Inside this reference variable, will there be address of any object or only null value will be available? Address will be available or null value will be available? Null. If it is null, if you call this method with the null reference, it will lead to one of the famous exception in Java. Which is that exception? If I run this application, it will lead to an exception. What is the name of the exception? Null pointer exception. Fine, no? Because there is no dependence injection. I have told don't perform dependence injection is what I have told here. But if I want, I can do the manual. Manual means property or constructor. You decide which one you want. I'll go with the property. I want to perform the dependence injection of what to say? Through property means through what, guys? Setter or constructor? Setter. I'll go back and say course is the reference variable. And what I want to perform equals to, maybe I want to inject Java. Java will be injected. No automatic injection. It is manual dependency injection. Have you understood the concept of auto wiring, guys? Automatic wiring by type. So likewise, how we have this? No. How we have this? There is one annotation called as auto wired. Auto wired means automatic dependency injection by type. Automatic dependency injection by type. Understanding, everyone? Yes, no, maybe. How to use this auto wired annotation is what we need to see, which we will be seeing it in our classes, which you need not to worry on that. Fundamentally, is it clear to everyone? This part of the application also? Yes, no, maybe. All of you? Yes, no, something, please tell me, guys. Guys, can I develop same application with annotation approach right now? I know time will increase for 5-10 minutes if all of you are okay with it, because Monday's class I have not taken. Will there be any problem if I take 10 minutes extra today? If you feel that it is interesting class, you are learning something today, I'll take up this class, guys. I'll take up this class. I will create one more. Spring Core 6. I'll close this everything. I'll close this. All this I'll close. Close, 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 close. Nothing. Spring Core 6 is a project. Okay, now I'll take Spring Core 4. I'll go to application config. I will get this here. Okay. I will get it here. I will copy from here. I will get this metadata to my Spring 6. Spring 6. I'll get it here. Base package is what I have told there. Base package, the way I have written is wrong. I'll do one thing. I'll create the packages and I'll add this inside those packages. Okay. I'll create one package called as com.telesco.main, and I'll create one more package. One more package I'll create com.telesco.services, or maybe beans, or whatever you want, you can do it. What I'm going to do is I will get this here. I will get this here. Okay. After getting it here, I'm going to delete this entire package. These modifications are default. Those who are attending the classes, it's just a second class officially using the Spring framework, guys. Third class by starting Java application, but Spring framework second class. In 2 days of classes, if you feel that you have learned something about the Spring framework, imagine if you are there with me for the next 3 months every day. Why tomorrow no class, guys? Is there something special tomorrow? I'm not aware of it. Please don't mind. You just tell me. Something special is there, guys, tomorrow. I'll go back, guys, to my main class. Understand this. I'll save it. I'll go back to Terisco. Packaging I have to change, of course. Guys, we do have some classes, correct? And which approach this time you are following, guys? Which approach this time you are following? Annotation. Could you please tell me the annotations I can use here at the top of this class? Anyone in the class? Which annotation I have to use here? All of them are business logic, no? This is also business logic only. You can use service component, whatever you feel like. Okay. This time let me use component only. No problem for me. Component. Okay. Guys, understand this to the best of your eligible, ability. I'll go here and say auto wired. Auto wired. Dependency injection will perform to this field. Here we have option of field injection, setter injection, constructor injection. I'm going with field injection. And look at this. Let me use service only here. That will be more relevant. This is also business class only. But anyway, even if you use component, not a problem, which we have seen already. I'll go back here and tell me, guys, Auto wire means auto wiring by type. By type. Whatever problem we had there, will there be that problem coming up here also, which we have seen earlier in the last application? Auto wire means it is by default by type. By type means how many of the classes eligible which are of type I course? How many classes are there, guys, which are of type? I'm asking perform dependency injection here. Auto wide dependency injection. Look at the beauty, guys. Did you give anything in the annotation approach? No, right? Auto wide finish. How easy it is. I'll go and run my application. If you could remember that output, we have got it. See? Same result are we getting here. Expected single matching, but found two. Two options are there. Option number one. Option number one. Tell me, guys, XML approach, what did we use? Telba, everyone in the class. Are you there? Guys, should I take or should I leave? If there is no response, it's a message that I should leave. Guys, are you all there? Yes, no? Everyone in the class? I will say here, primary. Primary means, now tell me, guys, is there any ambiguity to my compiler or it will inject Spring Boot object right now? Is there any ambiguity or it will inject the Spring Boot object? Spring Boot object. Are you all there? However, I'm not getting any bean from here. I'm not getting any bean here. I'm not calling. If you want, you can get it. Okay. I will save this also. Now tell me, guys, which bean will be injected here? Which bean will be injected here? Spring. Right click. Run as Spring Boot application or Java application. Are we all getting it? Is there any other way? Yes, don't use this primary. I'll get back to this primary. What is the other way? I'll go back here and I will just say qualifier. Qualifier. Are you all there here? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone? I'll go here and say Java. I will say here, I will run this application. Right click, run as Java application. Guys, which object is injected? Java. Guys, did I give any Java bean ID here myself? No, right? I have followed the camel case of this. That means camel case is only created. That's the proof of this because I've given the bean ID Java. Behind the scene camel case of that class is getting happening. Yeah, it's a proof. Are you understanding, guys, qualifier bean, usage of qualifier bean? Everyone in the class? I'll go with this. This time, I don't want to perform dependency injection through the field. I want to perform the dependency injection through the setter. And I will say here, what is the bean ID I have not given, guys? What is the camel case of this? What is the camel case of this? Camel case of this is this. What is the camel case of this? Starting S is small. Which object will be injected, guys, right now? Out of 2, which object will be injected? Now, XML annotation approach. Annotation approach, is it easy, guys? Everyone? Now, I'll go back and perform the constructor injection. Guys, constructor, you cannot apply qualifier because the target is different. Remember, guys, in the concept of annotation, I had told you guys. What is that I have told in the concept of annotations? I have told you very clearly that based on the target they have specified, every annotation you cannot use everywhere. I'm getting here the qualifier is disallowed at this location. Why? They have not given the target. The target they have given is totally different. If I have to open this, guys, open the declaration of this, please look at the target they have given. Field. Method you can apply. Parameter you can apply, it seems. Type, that means class you can apply. But is there anywhere mentioned constructor, guys? Element type constructor, anywhere mentioned? Guys, those who don't know that, please watch my annotation video. Section number 14, it is available in your course dashboard. Those are new to the classes, okay? what is annotation, how to create. But those who are part of my core Java classes, I want them to answer. Are you able to understand this, guys? Why I have teach you this concept of target that time? But can I apply this to this field, guys, parameter? I can apply to the parameter. I'll apply here to the parameter. Is it fine? If I apply to parameter, there is no error. Disallowed at this location. Which object will be injected, guys, right now? Spring Boot again. Through the constructor injections. Guys, is it easy to perform dependency injection and work with annotations? Very easy, right? Why people are behind annotation approach? I hope you are able to understand this. I have taught you both XML and annotation. Annotation is very, very easy. Very, very easy. Now, guys, I want you to understand this. Okay, this part I would like to maybe comment it. No constructor injection. I want to go with setter injection. Okay, I want you to understand this. I don't know why no one has asked the question. I will go here. What is that I have told here? Spring Boot, right? Spring Boot is what I have told here, right? Okay. I'll go to Java. I will say here primary. Guys, I have told primary here. But what did I say here? Qualifier, Spring Boot. Now tell me, guys, qualifier will dominate primary or primary will dominate qualifier? Both of the purposes are same, but I'm confusing my Spring. Primary will dominate qualifier or qualifier will dominate primary? Who will dominate whom? Java will be injected or Spring Boot will be injected? Option A, Java will be injected. Option B, Spring Boot will be injected. Option C, exception. Option 4, who cares? We are here to learn. You only tell us. I'll go and run this application. Guys, qualifier is dominating or Java, no, primary is dominating? Qualifier is dominating primary. Is that fine, everyone? Whenever you're performing dependence injection and if multiple objects are eligible for the injection, then which annotations are used in Java? Whenever you are performing dependence injection and if multiple dependent objects are eligible for dependence injection, which annotations can be used? Can you apply qualifier to the field directly? Can you apply qualifier to a setter? Can you apply qualifier to a constructor? If you cannot apply to a constructor, is it like we cannot achieve dependence injection through the constructor approach? No, we can apply to a parameter of a constructor. That's the answer for it. Is that fine, every one of you? Yes, no, maybe. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class, guys. It was a wonderful session. In just 2 days of sessions, you have understood so much of Spring. Imagine if you just be with me for the next 3 months of time. I can assure you one thing, that all of you will be strong enough in the Spring framework, provided you are practicing, you are revising, you are doing some project. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. Allow me next 2 minutes of time. I'll not take any questions for the next 2 minutes. I'll share all this in your chat. After which I'm open for your questions. Sinky, ponky, donkey questions, silly questions, realistic questions, whatever you want, you can ask to me. I'll be open for it. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. It was a wonderful session. It is Spring class day 3 or session day. Okay. I will say it's Spring core class 3 board work. Spring core class 3 board work. And I will just share you all these files. These files will be shared in the chat. Also will be available in your course dashboard, which I'll be uploading, guys. I think yesterday, what is the Spring Core 3 is what I have shared with you. Spring Core 4, 5, 6 is what I have shared in today's class. Okay. 5. 6. I'll go back here and I will share all these files with you in the chat. I'll go to DSA Spring Class 2, Spring Core Class 2. All right. The recorded session, huh? Okay. I'll ask them to upload it. If not right now in the chat I'm sharing, I'll ask them to upload also, okay? Good that you have told me, but it will be uploaded, okay? I'm open for your questions, guys. I'm open for the questions. Thank you for joining me in today's class. Okay. In the telescope class, suppose we are having one more variable for another interface, then we will one more setter, and then in that case, it is possible, Ganesh. That means you have to write the bean one more time. Okay. You cannot create multiple variables there. Are you getting it? It will be easy to do that through the annotation approach because we have less attributes available with the XML approach. So annotation approach, it is easy, and that we are going to do multiple times going forward. If it is of different types, different interfaces possible, and in our live classes, we are going to do multiple times. Is there any preference given on bean creation on controller, service, repository, annotation? No, nothing as such, Ayushi. Sir, name attribute is also tag refers to the name for the variable in setter. Yes. I want to inject ESB into telescope and another target object. Telescope. I want to inject Spring Boot into telescope. Great. And also in another target object. How to do that? Please show me. We can do that. We will see that multiple going forward in our annotation approach, Sandesh. Very often you may have to perform into one object into multiple target objects. That is possible, and that is a real case, and we are going to do that in our applications going forward. Okay, we'll develop many applications and we are going to do that. That means one object you want to use for multiple other objects. It's possible, and that situation will definitely come, and it will not create any ambiguity, because one Java object you want to use in the telescope also, you want to use in the T-shape also, you want to use in the other alien also. It's possible. Okay. Could you please explain bean versus what is that bean versus component once more? Component means if you directly apply to a class Ravi, it will create the object of that class. Bean means whenever you are creating the object. Example, if I have to go here, look at this project, not this. Look at this project. Who is creating the object of password? Ravi. Who is creating the object of password? Can we achieve it using the XML approach? We can. I'm not aware of those attributes, but maybe it is out of my mind. You can just check if there are attributes available for that. Okay. But we have done it many times in the annotation approach. We are going to do in our future classes, and many times you will see that. It's easier also there. We created, but if you created, and if you want this to be a part of your Spring Bean IOC container, then use this bean annotation. Fine now. I'm not getting IntelliSense in the XML file when you type. I do see you getting it. No, nothing. You have to install Kington. Based on the ID, I guess IntelliJ IDEA, especially if you're using, there are paid and free versions based on that. Eclipse has that by default. What is the keyword used to search to get metadata about XML file? You just search, no, uh, Spring Core XML metadata, XML file, it will give you. Just English words, it will give you. And Sandesh, can we achieve it that one object injecting into multiple target objects through the XML approach. Yeah, I mean, if this is the case, application config. Okay. Huh. If this is the case that there is a different bean object, then it's very simple, right? No, nothing extra you have to do, Sandesh. If it into same Java object into multiple different target objects, the different target bean you have to tell here. Example T shape. It's a different class. There is no difference here. I mean, this is not change. Is it this you are trying to say? That same Java object you want to inject in T-shaped also in Telesco also? You can do no. Create the bean of target T-shape. Same goes in the no, annotation approach also. You can do that. There is no problem. One object can be used in multiple other objects. This is the way you have to write. Example, I have a T-shaped skills class. There also I want Java to be injected, and Telesco class also I want Java to be injected. You can do like this, no problem. Can you show me the path where we need to check yesterday's live class on notes and dashboard? Uh, Because that situation very often will come across. Yesterday's class, guys, Spring Boot section number 22, Spring Core, Spring Boot is there, right? Here, last class, yesterday's class is there. Attachment is also there. Attachment, if you see, all the projects are there. Okay. Hmm. Spring Core and Spring Boot in your course dashboard. Is that fine? Anything else, dear friends, to be discussed? Please let me know. Which one you felt comfortable, guys? XML or annotation? Very much easy and less burden to the developers. There is annotation. And that is the industry standard right now. Unless, unluckily, if you have deployed in some legacy projects. Okay. Most of the sessions I will take, Naveen sir also will take some of that concept. It's not decided which session because he also knows Spring Boot. I also know the Spring Boot. It's mixture of this. But whenever Naveen sir take the class, he will use IntelliJ IDEA. I will use Spring Tool Suite and Eclipse. Spring Tool Suite and Eclipse I will use. IntelliJ IDEA will be used by Naveen sir. So in that case, you'll get the taste of all three IDs. Yes, we can have it, Srini. We can have it. Sir, when you created the object and given bean at method, but what if we create object not inside the method, inside a class, and then we use? No, you cannot use because bean can be applied only at the method level. Bean can be applied only at the method level. Example, if I have to go here, if you have attended my core Java classes, you should be knowing it. Right click, open the declaration. What is the target? What is the target of this? Is there any type target? Type constructor, field, any target is there? It's method. So bean can be used only for the method. Understood? Huh? Hmm. All right, guys, some reference for study, any website link or book not needed. I'll give you key points. That is sufficient, Ravi. Okay. or official documents of Spring Framework. There is something called a Spring IO. When I discuss the Spring Boot, no, very first class, either I discuss or Naveen sir discuss, whoever discuss. In that class, we will go through the website of Spring Framework. That is the best documentation alongside what we are discussing in our live class. So suppose constructor is accepting two parameters. How to set the order which are very good, very good. We will discuss that ESP. We will discuss that through XML approach also. We'll discuss that through the annotation approach also. Okay. Both will discuss. XML tomorrow I will discuss first. All right, guys. I see no more questions. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. Those who know Java, those who are listening these classes from the beginning with complete focus, I hope you have understood everything. We'll meet again tomorrow exactly at 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time and continue the discussion on the concept of Spring Framework. I repeat, Spring Framework is not a new language or a new syntax. You can understand Spring Framework only if you know proper core Java. If you have ambiguity, confusion in core Java, please first complete core Java, revise core Java, get comfortable in Java, then step into Spring Framework. You'll not face any issues. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. We'll meet tomorrow exactly at 7 a.m. and continue the discussion. Thank you, every one of you. At the last class of Spring Code, okay? You cannot find anywhere. I have not told that you will find anywhere. I have told I will give you after every module, okay?